gorilla stomping in a zoo. Check the vocals, animals gather right.
Hey everybody, and welcome back for another video where we're back in the kitchen and I'm going to share with you a recipe for a quick and easy hash brown casserole that we really love and we hope that you do as well. So let's get to it. I'm going to show you the ingredients that I'm using and we'll just get into the process. As I said, this is quick and easy, so I'm going to try not to drag this on too long for you, so try to keep up. Alrighty, first thing we're going to touch on is our ingredients. So since we're making a hash brown casserole, I have a 900 gram pack of hash browns straight from the store. Get it in your local freezer aisle while supplies last. Alright, next to that, head of broccoli, 1 large onion, and 2 cans of Campbell's cream of mushroom soup. Full salt, full fat, full taste. Alright, first task, I'm going to take our large onion, and we're going to get that diced up as finely as you would like. Alright, so that is chopped as finely as we need it. Now, I could have done that a lot fancier, I'm sure, but it was just a rough cut to get the job done. So I'm going to move all this to the side. I'm going to move on to chopping up some broccoli. And I'm going to be using pretty much just florets. I'm not going to be worrying about the stem or anything with that. We don't want too hard of chunks in our casserole. So I'll be chopping off the florets, equalizing those out a bit, and I'll add it to my onion pile. So I'm just going to cut in around, free up the florets. Like so. Shorten the stem on a couple of these. It's okay. And the chef always gets a little taste. So same thing with the onion. Just choose what size pieces you want. Alright, I just cut down lengthwise to try and preserve as much as the floret shape and everything as possible. And in the case of kids, if they're not totally into eating broccoli on that particular day, the pieces are still rather big enough that they can pick them out. But definitely encourage them to eat them, obviously. So I'll finish separating these florets here now, and then we'll come back and get to the next stage. And there we are. That's a pretty good size of floret, and it should still be easily pickable by the kids if they're not feeling it. Alright, so move that over with the onion. And now, at this point in time, that's most of our manual labor done. We're going to move on to assembly of the casserole mix. So our last prep item is to open up our cans of cream of mushroom soup. There we are. 2 cans of cream mushroom soup, broccoli, onion, pack of hash browns. That's all of our mix. So I'm going to grab the bowl, we'll start combining and do some mixing. Alrighty, let's move this stuff aside, make room for the bowl. I got a nice big bowl, and I just find that to get leverage and mixing everything like so, it's nice to have a big bowl. It feels like it's a bigger cleanup, but when you got a small bowl and you got bits falling out to the sides and stuff, it can easily become very messy very fast. Alright, onion and broccoli going in. On top of that, I'll open up our bag of hash browns. And for us, we've had them before where they still had skins on, even though it was a skinless package, but just confirming these are skinless. That's the way we prefer. And the whole bag is going in there. Ice and all. Doesn't matter. You can't separate ice out of hash browns anyways. Okay. And last ingredients, 2 cans of cream mushroom soup. One. And that's 2. Alright, no water required, just straight up, straight out of the can. Okay, into the mix. And now we're going to mix this very thoroughly, so that everything is evenly distributed throughout. So now that we have everything evenly distributed and mixed in, it's time for a little power ingredient. Right here, I got a bag of taco nacho shredded cheese. Doesn't necessarily have to be taco nacho, but as far as taste goes, it just adds that extra little bit of peppery flavor and sometimes a little bit of a kick, but not much to really worry about in terms of spiciness. Anyways, what I'm doing is I'm grabbing as big a handful as I can grab. That's it, just one handful. Mixing that in there. And we'll get back to one more round of mixing. And there we are. Your casserole mix is done and ready to go into a casserole dish. And we're going to bake that at 350 for probably like an hour and a half or so. We'll see as it goes till everything is browned. But I'll get that in the container now, and we'll cover that up with foil for the baking, and I'll show you that now. So to fit this in, I'm going to use just a regular size casserole pan. It's kind of, or lasagna dish, whatever you want to classify it as. And we'll go ahead and pour our mixture into there. Scrape out all the goodness. Alright, and now we're just going to smooth this out evenly across your casserole dish. Like I say, this is quick and easy. We're probably only, all told, 5 minutes of cutting and prep before just throwing everything in there. There we are, that's adequately smoothed out. Some aluminum foil. Now there's always a debate on which side of foil to put towards your food. I'm pretty much of the understanding that it's shiny side towards the food, so it reflects the heat back down into the food. That's what I will be doing. And there you are, your nice neat little package to put in the oven. So I'm going to go ahead, preheat the oven at 350 degrees. And once that's preheated, this is just going to go straight in there. And like I say, probably about an hour and a half of baking time. At which point the cheese is going to make a return. We're going to take this foil off, cover it in cheese, back in the oven for another half hour or so for a total 2-hour cooking time. Alright, so let's get that done. Alright, so we are at 1 hour of baking time so far. And we don't want to be too irresponsible and just set it and forget it. So, I'm just going to open up the side here and have a look. You can kind of see, you can definitely see the cheese getting cooked along the edge there. We're getting there. I'll take out a little sampler for myself. Close this up. And I feel pretty safe going another half hour with this. If that changes with my little taste tester, I'll let you know. But otherwise we're going a full hour and a half on this. And then we'll take it out, put on a topping of cheese, and then put it back in for 20 or 30 minutes to melt that. Alright, so that's where we are right now. Let's continue on. Alrighty, so that is an hour and a half of cooking time. So let's take out our casserole and see how we're doing. Alright. So come on in close, we'll take off this foil and see what we're dealing with. And there we are, nice golden edges. The top is nice and soft there. And if we just take a fork, you can see, show you a couple of the hash browns. Right. Nice soft texture throughout. So everything is well cooked there. And same goes for the broccoli. The broccoli is nice and soft. So an hour and a half is definitely good for this amount of cooking. So as I mentioned before, time for some more cheese. And we're just going to put a layer of cheese across the whole casserole, and then it's going to go back in the oven for another, 15, 20, 25 minutes. Just long enough to melt the cheese, and you can even get a little crust on the cheese if you want. As long as it's melted is my goal. Let's say we're looking at about 2 to 3 healthy sized handfuls to to get full coverage. There we are. So we're going to take this as is and pop it back in the oven until this cheese is melted the way we like it, and then we are ready to eat this. Alrighty, so at this point we're about 10 minutes in since we put the cheese on and put it back in the oven. And as you can tell, we got most of the cheese is all melted across. We got some bubbling going on. But I want to finish this off with a little bit of a cheese crust. So I'm going to keep it in here and I'm going to switch my oven to broil on high from top down. And we'll watch this together now as the broiler takes care of the top and gives us a little crust. At this point in time, I've reached a desired level of crust on the cheese there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of those camera shots of it getting there. But we're ready to take it out, and we'll bring it over onto the burner there, and that's where we'll let it cool and set up so that it's not just falling apart right now. So it's at this point we're done with the oven, so I'll shut that off. Now let's come on over and I'll show you what the finished product looks like. So at this point we're still fresh out of the oven, but you know, curiosity killed the cat, they say. So just having a look at everything, looks well cooked. Everything is the texture that I'll be looking for. Right, nice healthy forkful there. And I'll go ahead and do a little taste. That is perfect. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A nice, easy, quick recipe for a hash brown casserole. You can leave the broccoli in or out depending on your own preference, but as a whole I recommend this dish to you to try, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So with all that said, that's it for this video. So until the next one, hope you're happy, hope you're healthy, take care of each other, and peace out.